Inspire Joyan Season 2. I'm your host, Joyan Chan, and every Wednesday we bring you inspiring stories, powerful message, and fun conversations with me and my special guests and friends, and it's my personal mission to empower you to live and lead a life with joy. This podcast is for you if you're looking for more joy, courage, passion, and purpose in your life. Now let's dive into today's episode and get ready to laugh, learn, and live your life to the fullest. Happy New Year! I'm so excited because it is the first day of the year. It's the first day of a brand new year, and if you're listening to this right now, I want you to know how proud I am of you and how much I appreciate you for taking the time out to listen and learn today. As I sat at my desk reflecting on what do I want to share on this important day, which is the first day of the year, I asked myself, what message could truly set the tone for the year ahead? And that's when it hit me. Everything we strive for, whether it's building a business, growing a family, or attracting our dream partner, or creating financial freedom, it all comes down to who we become. It's not just about how we achieve our goals. It's about who we need to be to make them a reality. So I want to ask this very question before we even start. Who do you need to become this year to achieve everything you desire? People often talk about having your best year yet and offer all sorts of advice. To have your best year yet, you have to become your best self. And so let that be our focus for 2025. When you commit to becoming your best self in all areas of your life, everything else falls into place. You will attract more joy, more abundance, more money, more opportunities. You will find yourself feeling more at peace, more empowered, more inspired, and more aligned with your highest, truest potential. And when you show up as your best self, the entire universe conspires to help you succeed. It's not just wishful thinking. It's a universal law. So let's make this year about becoming. Let's step into the version of ourselves that is ready to create and receive all the success, all the happiness and abundance and fulfillment and joy that we have been seeking. The heart and soul of this podcast since day one have always been about bringing you the stories, the insights, the message, the tools and strategies to empower you, to help you live your best life. And over time, we have been so blessed and fortunate to host incredible speakers and guests who have generously shared their wisdoms with us. And their messages are not only powerful, but also timeless. So for this very first episode of the year, I wanted to do something special, so I went back into our 2024 archives and pull out some of the most important and impactful messages and practical strategies that can help you step into your best self in 2025. Maybe you missed some of these episodes, or perhaps you have listened to them before. Either way, repetition is key. Just like you don't go to the gym once and expect to walk out of the gym fit and healthy, right? The same applies to the mind. So listening to these powerful insights again and again and again helps infuse them into your subconscious mind, transform them into your personal beliefs, and ultimately guide you into action. Remember, knowledge alone isn't power. Applied knowledge is. So I want you to not just sit back today, but I want you to sit up straight, grab some my food, give me your 110% focus, because what we're going to do, we are about to learn how to become your best self in 2025.
At the end of the day, if you read a great book and you choose not to take any action on it, from my perspective, that's closer to a form of entertainment than it is education or behavior change. And so people who read 100 books a year, but they don't take any action on them, it's not improving their lives very much. And so a few years ago, I stopped tracking the number of books I was reading per year, and I started to track for what was I taking action on? You just mentioned another great book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. There's a quote from Napoleon Hill that I love. It says, action is the real measure of intelligence. Action. And so it's not reading a book that changes your life. It's taking action on the book after you read it that changes your life.
The only sane option is to be real with ourselves when we feel bad, to recognize that it's our perspective that's making us feel that way, to set goals for a better future, and then to start to live in a way that we feel really proud of ourselves and to choose a positive perspective of everything that happens. It's a daily practice. It's every single moment making a conscious choice to say, how can I see this in a positive light? Because that's the only thing that is sane. It's the only thing that feels good. And I refuse to waste one of my very few precious days in despair. Say, all right, well, dwelling on this pain isn't going to help me feel good. And deciding to stop the thoughts that are hurting me now. Like, let's say we get hurt one time in the past, but then we dwell on it and feel like a victim 1,000 times in our mind. We're just cutting ourselves 1,000 times. So learning how to say, all right, I'm going to drop this thinking and choose positive thinking for what's in my life today, in the present, and making positive choices for the future. So I don't think, unless you're enlightened, and there's a handful of people, unless you're one of those 5 or 6 out of 7 billion, for the rest of us, we need to just be conscious of when our thoughts go negative, examine them, and then start to say, well, that's not serving me, so what thoughts would?
The way that we actually get confidence is by taking risks and trying new things and seeing what happens. I refer to it as a science experiment, right? Like, think about the scientists that are trying to cure cancer. They fail all the time.
Yep.
But they learn from their failures, they make adjustments, and they start to move ahead and ahead. What would happen if all these scientists that come up with cures for things or that create new innovations stopped after they failed or got nervous that it might not work? They don't know if it's going to work when they set out. So if you kind of take on that mindset of being a scientist and going about things as a science experiment to see, will this work or won't it? And if it doesn't, what do I need to shift in order to try again next time? And that takes away that inner critic voice that tells you that you're bad and wrong, or that shames you for not having success at something, right? So to have the courage to take the risks, that's what we really need, not the confidence to take the risks. The courage to take the risks and discover the outcomes, also to discover that when it doesn't work, we're okay. We don't die. Nobody hates us. Everything is okay. When you do that again and again and again, it gets easier every time. And that's where confidence begins to come from.
We live in an instant gratification society, and what has that gotten us? It's gotten us broke. It has us fat. It has the highest divorce rate ever. So instant gratification is bullshit. So yes, you should delay gratification. You should plan. So I'm not suggesting to you, I used to be really hard and say, you can't do anything until you hit your goal. But I don't do that anymore, because we do need to enjoy life along the way. There is a happy medium. And so, in that scenario, what I would tell the client is, hey, we're on track for saving $10,000 in the time period of the goal. So let's say I want to save $10,000 in the course of a year. So I'm saving $800 a month. At the end of the year, I'm going to have $10,000. If you can find another $500 a month to put towards this $6,000 trip, then I'm all for it. But understand, you're not taking the money out of the $10,000 account. You're not taking $6,000 out of the 10 to go on a trip. That's not what we're going to do and be successful. So you have to make a real decision. And that's what people do not do, Joyan. Yep. And that's why they are miserable. Okay? This is exactly why they're miserable. I'm going to send you this little video. It might be 10 seconds, because it shows a guy that in life, okay, that's going up this hill. Okay, he's going up the hill, so struggle early and then he slides down the rest of the life having fun and being happy. Okay. And then on the other side, they show a guy that's taking it easy and he's sliding down first and then he has to walk up. Okay. And that guy never gets over the hill because it is more difficult. You're going to pay a price. The question becomes, do you want to pay it early when you're young, you're energetic, you're agile, you don't have a bunch of debt? Are you going to pay the price early or are you going to pay the price later? Having put kids through college and buying your house and trying to get out of debt, and now you're 45 or 50, just now being able to save money, you're never going to get to be able to enjoy the quality of life had you paid the price earlier, stayed out of debt, start saving your money, put good money habits into place. You're never going to have a better life than if you started it then. So when they see it, they're like, yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
And
Absolutely.
you and I, we know that everyone is being held back by fear, whether it's fear of failure, fear of success, fear of, I don't know, everything, right? Anything. So what is the first step to overcoming fear in life?
Do something that scares the hell out of you.
Right.
I mean, great question. And that's really the answer.
Yeah.
And continue to do that. Once you start to challenge your fears, you'll realize all the things that you've been told that fear told you that wasn't true. And you'll realize that fear is a liar, and you'll get a grip on it. It's like, going to an amusement park and getting on a roller coaster. Look at how many people don't do it and stand around and look at it and watch. And then, of course, they'll say that other people are crazy for doing it because fear is controlling you. And it's okay, because fear is there to keep us from doing really, really dumb stuff where we could get killed. But again, life's short. The fears you don't overcome, let me say it this way, the fears you don't overcome become your limits. That's just the way it works. One of my mentors told me this. He said, Dave, just know that every human has two lives. And the second one starts when you realize you have only one.
Well, I love
and
that.
I believe that the two most important times in your life is the moment you're born and the moment you figure out why.
Yeah.
There's a divine purpose to your life. We all have it. Some of us get more connected to it than others. So this is where I talk about, living from the inside out, opposed to living from the outside in. If you think a new car or a new house or something materialistic is going to make you happy, you're going to find out, possibly, I hope you find out, that that's not true. Because I believe that if you help enough human beings get what they want in life, you'll always get what you want.
You manifest what you believe. So here's where, again, we have to look at what we believe. We have to be able to see what's coming to us, what we're attracting, and be able to stand back and say, okay, well, what does that mean about me? I must believe X, Y, Z. It's not as easy as the vision board, put it up there, walk away. And it's not as easy as say an affirmation, because again, what I'm saying and what I'm feeling might be two different things. We have our subconscious brain and our mind, and we can decide in that 12% of our conscious brain to focus on something positive, but we could also have an entire body filled with pain, filled with fear, but we're overcompensating by pretending not to have that. And then we attract more things to be nervous about, and we wonder why. So, it's really looking underneath the surface there's practices, but the practices are about what you feel, not what you say. It's not even what you think. If what you think and say activate a feeling. And I think that's where a lot of people think it's about affirmations or about gratitude journals, and you can do all of that. But if the energy underneath that isn't pure with whatever you're looking for, if you're looking to, like someone that says, I'm going to make $5 million next year. Okay, someone can say, I really, really want that. But then you have to ask them, do you believe that you can do that? And if they say they can't, they don't believe, but they believe that if they just say it enough and they think about it enough and they talk about it enough, that they'll attract it. But that's not, you have to actually believe it. You have to believe. That's part of law of attraction. You attract what you believe. That's why people can attract different things all the time. Good and bad things, because it depends on what you believe. One person can believe something that they're going to ingest will kill them, and it might. And something can believe that same thing will make them healthy, and it might, because you're coming at it from different frequencies. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy that my body is going to be in alignment with and show up and look for evidence of what I believed to strengthen what I believe. I want, if your audience likes law of attraction, then I'm going to really strongly recommend that all of you write this down. This is all you need to know. This is the biggest piece. And this is an Abraham quote. The only reason that you want what you want is that you think you'll feel better when you have it. So that is law of attraction right there in a nutshell. The only reason you want the money, the partner, the house, the job, the car, the body, whatever, is because you think you'll feel better when you have it. Let's break that down for a second. What you're looking for is the feeling.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You can get the feeling without the thing. In fact, you don't even need the thing because you're looking for the feeling anyway. And in order for you to attract the thing, you have to feel it first. You can't think about a thing that's separate from you. Don't believe that you have it and vibrate in the, God, I hope I get it. God, I hope I get it. I feel like I'm on chorus line right now. Right. But if you don't believe that it's your reality, if you're that distance from it, then you're not going to get it. You can't wish for $1 million, hoping and wondering and worrying about it. And then that's not alignment. Alignment means I'm already living in the feeling of already having it. But again, you're only going for the feeling anyway. So if you just go to the feeling, you don't even need the thing that you're looking for. And then you'll probably get the thing that you're looking for because you'll be unattached to it and you'll already be living in the frequency of where it exists.
Language keeps us stuck. And the best way I can explain that is, I'll ask you right now, are you a morning person or a night person?
A night person.
Perfect. So that's not true. And here's why.
Okay.
You're not a night person. You just have a habit of going to sleep later.
Okay.
If you wanted to become a morning person, you could just have a habit of waking up earlier. It's not who you are. It's what you choose to do. I'm not a gym person. I just have a habit of going to the gym. I wasn't always a gym person. I wasn't born a gym person. If we can change our habits to change our identity, then think about this. When you say, I'm not good enough, or I can't show my true self, that's not true. You haven't shown your true self in the past, but it doesn't mean you can't moving forward. You don't have to be who you always were. At any point, you can choose to change by choose to be the habits that you wish to be. Easier said than done, absolutely, but better done than said anyways. No one wants to get up and go to work, but they say that they have to. You don't have to. You could be homeless. But if you choose to not be homeless, you can choose to start making the habits that create the life that you want. I'm not saying you can't choose to be a millionaire. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you can choose to be like, oh, I don't feel confident right now, but I'm going to be myself anyways. I don't feel like everyone cares about what I'm doing, but it doesn't matter because their feelings are not my business. You can always choose to instill the habit in the moment. We're given constant momentary choices. And we make choices. But if we tell ourselves bad stories like, I can't do this, I can't do that, no one will accept. If we tell ourselves those kind of stories and we operate based on that information, we're operating based on faulty information. So at the end of the day, it takes constant choices to recognize I can be my true self whenever I choose to be. Not whenever I want, because that's a feeling. Whenever I choose to be. And if you choose to be yourself more often than not, you'll find the fulfillment comes. But if you choose to not be yourself and blame it on something else, both were a choice. One just happened to benefit you a lot more.
Wow, wasn't that awesome? I've been taking notes like crazy while listening, and I hope you did too. I'm so thankful for all our amazing guests in the past, and I can't wait to bring even more phenomenal guests to the show this year. And we already have an outstanding lineup for 2025, and honestly, it just keeps getting better every year. Remember, I'm also on this journey with you. We are in this together. I'm also learning and growing right alongside you as we continue to build this show. So if you have any feedback at all, just share them with me because I would love to hear how can I improve. Now, here's the thing. Don't just turn off this episode and go back to business as usual. Take action. Remember, action is power. The key to growth is implementing what you have learned. And to help you with that, I have prepared some journaling questions. And I will give you a moment, Pause me here if you don't already have a pen and notebook to write these questions down. Alright? So once this episode ends, I want you to spend the next 30 minutes to an hour to answer these questions. I want you to really connect with your heart and answer them thoughtfully. They will give you clarity, confidence, and direction as you step into your best self in 2025. Alright? Are you ready? Question number 1. It is December 31st, 2025. You have just had your best year ever. What does that look like? Question number 2. What does being your best self look like? List 3 qualities you want to embody, starting each with I am. So write down I am. I am what? I am passionate, I am powerful, I am inspiring, alright? That's the 3 qualities you want to embody. Moving on, question number 3. What 3 new habits do I want to incorporate into my life in 2025? And how can I make sure I follow through? Question number 4. What is one limiting belief I need to let go of to become my best self? And how can I reframe it? Question number 5. Who are the people I want to surround myself with this year, and how will they support my growth? And question number 6, and also the last question, what is one bold action I can take now to fully step into and embody my best self? You know, as Tony Robbins says, never leave the scene of a decision without taking action. So make a decision and take the bold action now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, and definitely not next year. But now, right now, today. Alright? And that's it. And here's the thing. I won't ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. So I will also be spending the next 30 minutes answering these questions, because when I am at my best, when I am my best self, I can serve all of you to the highest of my abilities. So thank you so much for listening today and staying till the end. And I'm really excited we get to spend this time together on the first day of the new year. It is a great sign that we are off to an amazing start. So once again, Happy New Year! Here's to a year of transformation, growth, and becoming everything we are meant to be. Let's make it happen. Thank you again for tuning into Find Joy Joyan podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, take a screenshot and share it on your IG story and tag findjoyjoyan_podcast so I know you are listening. And leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts if you haven't already done so. And remember to hit the subscribe button whether you are listening on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, or any of your other favorite platforms. If you love what we are doing and want to become one of our sponsors, you can send me a DM to connect. And thanks for being here. I will see you soon in the next episode.